And I'm Janelle.
And this is the Murder Mamas.
The Murder Mamas.
Welcome.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Another Thursday.
Another Thursday.
It's always Thursday.
It's always Thursday here. That is true. And it's hot this week.
Very hot.
Very hot.
Not humid though.
No.
Which I like.
Yeah, that's been nice.
It's when the humid goes up.
Yeah.
My mood goes down.
Yeah. But I've been thinking about, we got our pool tags.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gotten your pool tags yet?
No.
You get your pool tags.
I don't know how to get them.
I'll show you how to get them.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. But yeah, then you can go to the pool.
Oh,
you can
a pool tag lets you go to the pool?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, it's totally cool. It's this like tag.
I'm just being mean.
I know. But you don't have to go to your specific
You can go to
pool.
any.
You can go to
anyone, right?
Not all of them. Some of them are
like the fancy ones.
Yeah, but
they don't let you in.
Most of them you can go to.
Okay.
So like you can come to mine and I can go to yours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pool. Pool time.
Pool time.
They said actually on like the Facebook whatever page.
Yeah.
Someone said that they weren't checking pool tags last weekend when the pool opened.
No, it doesn't open till Memorial Weekend.
No, our pool opened last weekend.
Oh, your pool.
Yes.
Your pool opened early?
Yeah.
Oh,
because it was so hot on the weekend.
Oh.
Too bad I felt like shit all weekend, so we didn't go.
Well, you couldn't have.
Because I was sick.
Oh, they weren't checking pool tags.
They weren't checking pool tags.
Oh, yeah, because they weren't giving them out until last weekend. And then there's 3 more days, I think, that you can choose from to go get them.
And then if you don't do it, you're just screwed all summer?
I think you can go to like the Sterling office or whatever it's called and pay $10. So you don't want to pay the $10.
Where do you go?
I'll show you.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Now I'm interested because last year we didn't get them at all.
Yeah.
And we have like a small pool in our backyard that we set up, and it has like a little pump, and Chris puts chemicals in it.
Yeah.
And, like checks it.
Well, that's fun.
So we have that one, but it's like just for my kids.
Right.
I wouldn't feel like, hey, come over in our shitty tiny pool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a family thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying I'm embarrassed of it. Yeah. That's what that means.
Yeah. And you can go to different pools. And it's fun because then there's always kids there. And then Avery just makes friends with everyone.
Well, because she's just a precious angel and the sweetest person on the face of the earth.
Makes it easy for me.
They're like, yes. Go, girl.
Go play.
Go. And I don't need to talk to their parents.
No.
Go.
Don't even know where her parents are. Just see that you're playing with the little girl. Fine with me.
Go. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so pool tags.
Yes.
Next on my list.
Yes.
Okay. I usually make Chris do these things, but now that he's working, I have to do them. 0 out of 10.
Yeah, it sucks. But you gotta remember it. You gotta do these things.
Yeah.
You know?
I just don't know how. It's all new to me.
I know. You gotta join all the groups. Like, we have a group for our specific community.
I'm in one for mine.
Oh, and they don't update it? Like, we have a lady who, like, updates us all the time.
Have you driven through my community? It's not quite like yours.
Yeah, but I don't know. I felt like so when I went to go pick up the tags, there were these guys there and they're part of the homeowners association, and one of them was the president and the other one was like the treasurer or something, and they just wanted to talk to all the residents because they wanted him to vote for them. And I was like, oh, I'm a renter. And he was like, oh, well, then we don't need to talk to you. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Now I'm going to call my landlord and tell him not to vote for you.
I'm going to call him from China.
I'm going to call him. I'm going to use Google Translate and I'm going to get this shit done.
You've messed with the wrong girl.
Rudeness.
Yeah, I feel like most of my neighborhood's all rentals.
Yeah.
Like so many rentals. So it's like, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's different.
Most of all of our posts are like, there's dogs barking in the backyard. Shut your dogs up.
Yeah. Bring your dogs inside. outside.
That's mostly what I hear about.
Mm.
And then, like, the neighbors on the corner who are super trashy.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's too bad. My therapist said that she's got someone that comes in and makes it known that he's coming in. Like, you can hear him from a mile away. Like, he's just revving up and coming in. And then he, like, revs it up, like, right in the driveway and to make sure that everybody knows he's home. And this has been going on. He does it every day. I don't know. Yeah.
I just, like, people who do that, why?
Yeah. Why?
No one wants to hear your car.
No.
No one cares.
No.
I mean, like, I would rather listen to a newborn cry.
Yeah.
Than someone needlessly rev an engine of a car or a motorcycle.
Yeah.
No one cares.
No.
It's very dumb.
Especially when you've got kids in the neighborhood. I mean, you don't know.
Driving into your neighborhood?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
I used to have this roommate who had a Subaru, like a...
Yeah.
Not like an Outback, but like the...
Right. Yeah.
Subaru. And they would leave for work super early in the morning and start their car and let it run to get warm.
Right.
For like 10 minutes at like 5:30 in the morning. Just... I'm like,
Yeah. You should have just gone and took the keys out. Thrown them.
Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Well, I'm a heavy sleeper, so I didn't wake me up. But all the neighbors complained.
Yeah.
And I was the property manager, so they complained to me.
Mm.
So that's the only reason I cared. Because people were complaining to me about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, it was not fun. I hated it. 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah. Neighborhoods are weird. Neighborhoods are weird.
Neighborhoods are weird.
Yeah. My neighbors across the street, I think that they're like a husband and wife, and I've never really talked to them, except for when Bo accused them of stealing our trash can.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's like, they were putting their trash out. And he's like, that's where our can went, because our can went missing one week. And we were like, what happened to our trash can? Like, did someone steal our trash can? Like,
probably.
No, the trash lady said that it accidentally got stuck on the arm, and she put it in the hopper on accident. And so then we had to, like, wait weeks to get a new trash can.
Oh,
it was
God.
a whole ordeal.
Mm.
But so they have 2 trash cans because she said the same thing had happened to them.
Yeah.
And so Bo saw it, and he was like, Mommy, they stole our trash can. I was like, no, I'm sure they didn't. But they leave their trash cans out for days after trash day. And I'm like, are you guys, like... I'm not sure if it's, like, a husband and wife, like, squabble where, like,
Right.
I'm not bringing them in, you're not bringing them in.
Right.
But, like, are they worried about getting a letter?
I know. Guess not. We get letters.
Do you?
I mean, I've never gotten one, but my neighbors have. And they're like, it was like the same day.
We got one when we first moved in because we put our trash can out on Monday and our trash day is Tuesday.
Right.
But we didn't know that yet.
Yeah.
And they sent us a letter for having our trash can out
Seriously?
on Monday. Yes. And then they sent us another letter for not mowing our grass. But it had been raining for like an entire week straight. I think it was last year. It rained for like 2 weeks straight, and then they sent it right at the last day of the rain. They sent us a letter to mow our lawn, and our landlord called us and was like, "You guys need to mow your lawn." And we're like, "Okay, we will when it stops raining for 2 weeks straight." Like,
Right.
have you ever lived in Houston? Are you aware?
Are you aware?
That every year but this year it rains. So that's fun. Anyways,
Yeah.
HOAs are,
Oh,
and it's like impossible to find any houses without HOAs.
Oh, no.
And you can tell when there's not an HOA.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they look rough.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Porter, like
Yeah.
bad parts of Porter.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh.
You don't want an HOA, but then you do want an HOA.
It's like I do for certain things, but
Mhm.
not everything.
Yeah.
Not everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of HOAs, we're going to talk about a mass suicide in a mansion
Oh.
tonight.
I wonder if they had an HOA.
They probably didn't. No. I mean, it's a mansion.
Yeah.
in one of the most expensive cities in the country.
Did you see the fires in Laguna Niguel
I did not.
that are going on?
No. Fires?
Yes. Mansions, like
Really?
10,000 square feet houses are up in flames. At least 20 of them.
Oh, man.
Yeah, in Laguna Niguel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it spreading? Are there fires anywhere else?
I don't know. It's just...
San Diego?
No, they thought they'd have it done quickly, but it spread. Yeah.
Those poor people.
Yeah.
That's like when, didn't like Miley Cyrus's house burn down in Malibu?
I don't know.
Like
probably.
years ago. Yeah. Her house burned down. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that burned down in Malibu.
Yeah. That's rough, man.
It is rough.
I hate fires.
To lose, I mean, there's nothing. You just lose everything. Everything's gone.
I hate fires.
Yeah.
I feel like because being from Southern California,
Yeah.
I'm like, every time I smell that smell, I'm like, where's the fire?
Yep.
Like, even here.
Yeah.
Like, my
Never
neighbors have
goes
been
away.
doing, like, bonfires. And tonight, when I stepped out of my house, I was, is there fire?
Where's the fire?
Okay, no.
Yeah.
We get a lot of rain. Our soil is wet.
Yeah.
Although we're entering a drought, so that's fun. Global warming. And it's supposed to be a busy hurricane season. And the chance of a hurricane hitting the Texas coast this year is up almost 10% from what it normally is.
Oh, good.
So...
We'll probably be in Alabama and get hit.
No.
Like we did last year.
There was a hurricane last year in Alabama?
Yeah.
Or a tropical storm?
A tropical storm in Florida, and we had to get the hell out of there.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't. The tournament was canceled early.
Did you get your money back?
No. Yeah.
That's what I'd be mad about.
Yeah.
It's not getting my money back.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Early for a tropical storm, though, no? I mean, it's like the first week of June.
Yeah, it was like the first week of June that we went.
Well, I guess there was a tropical wave off of Africa.
Yeah.
Just like last weekend.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They were tracking the first tropical wave. It's like, yay.
Okay. Yay.
Yay, weather.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, back to what we're talking about.
Yes.
I am going to talk to you about Heaven's Gate.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
I know a little bit, but not too much.
Not too much?
No.
So, they're fun. There's a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm not going to go super deep into, like, their ideology because it's, like, I don't want to use the word crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to write them off, but, like,
Right.
it's really convoluted. The beliefs are, like, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of different things, and it's just a lot.
Okay.
So, Heaven's Gate is a religious cult, mostly following, like, Christianity,
Okay.
that has its origins starting in Texas in the early 1970s. The founding members were Marshall Applewhite. He was born in 1931 and died in 1977. He also went by the name Doe.
Okay.
And Bonnie Lou Nettles, she was born in 1927 and died in 1985, and she went by the name T. They went by some other names, such as like Bo and Peep, and the Two.
Okay.
Yeah. So they started calling themselves Bo and Peep when they got followers, because like now they had sheep.
Right.
And Bo Peep.
Yeah.
And also I was watching the HBO documentary series about them.
Yeah.
And it said that Doe and T came from The Sound of Music, which was like their favorite movie and like one of the only approved medias that the members were allowed to watch.
Okay.
And so like Do Re Mi Fa So.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yep.
So that's where the names came from.
Okay. Makes sense.
Applewhite, when they met, Applewhite was working at the University of St. Thomas here in Houston, and he was either fired from his job for an alleged relationship with a male student, or he like had a mental breakdown.
Okay.
While he was also working on a performance with the Houston Opera.
Okay.
So it was like all of that sort of at the same time.
Yeah.
Which led to him meeting Bonnie. So Bonnie's a 44-year-old nurse working in a Houston hospital. There's like no clear answer on how they actually met. It says she was working with babies, but then also she was covering for someone at like the mental health part of the hospital, and that Applewhite was her patient, but then also Applewhite says that he went there to visit a friend and just ran into Bonnie and felt like he had known her forever.
Right. Okay.
So it's like,
yeah,
up in the air. Yeah. But, like, regardless of all of that, their meeting sets off, like, a chain of events, and obviously they become cult leaders, which ends in the mass suicide that took place in March of 1996. Shortly after T and Doe met, they began to travel the country. They spent the years from 1972 to 1973 traveling around meeting with, like, new age groups.
Yeah.
So it was like all the hippies, you know? And various churches. They would, like, do odd jobs for money and...
I was gonna say, how do they get money for traveling?
Yeah, so they would do, like, different odd jobs and, like, get food from churches and things like that.
Yeah.
For money, places to stay. At this time, though, they were just, like, vibing off each other. But they hadn't, like, gotten into their cult yet. And, like, all of their full beliefs. But, like, they had some, like...
You're getting there.
Yeah. They had, like, some crazy vibes.
Yeah.
That they were, like, both really just, like, same field.
Yeah.
Vibing.
Yeah. Playing off one another.
Yeah. And so in the documentary that I watched, T's daughter, her mom was, like, sending her pictures during this time. And, like, one of the pictures, they were in Reno or Vegas or something. Mm-hmm. And she, like, sends a picture. And on the back, it's, like, Doe gave me, or Herf or something, I guess is what he went by at that time.
Yeah.
Herf gave me a haircut, and they had the exact same haircut. Oh, also, they weren't a couple. It was just, like, a platonic relationship.
Oh. Okay.
Because Doe was gay. He was a gay male.
Okay.
So, yeah. So in 1973, T and Doe ended up on the Oregon coast, and they state that it was at this time they found their true purpose. They believe that they were the witnesses from the book of Revelations in the Bible.
Okay.
I don't really know the Bible enough to really understand what that means.
No.
But they believe that they were destined to be murdered and will lead those who accept their message back to the quote-unquote next level.
Okay.
Which is like...
They believe they're going to be murdered?
Martyred.
Oh, martyred.
Not murdered.
Oh.
Like that they're martyrs.
Oh, okay.
And they'll lead everyone back to, like, salvation. Okay. Anyone who accepts their message and, like, follows them to what they called the next level.
The next level. All right.
Yeah. The message that they wanted everyone to accept, though, required members to abandon all of their worldly possession and their families. Mm-hmm. Basically, everyone was, like, stripped of their humanness.
Yeah. Why do people do that? It's just weird to me.
That's what a cult is.
I know, but you just up and leave your family one day and never return. Like,
so the thing about them, too, which I'll talk about a little more later, is that they don't ever make anyone stay.
Oh,
like, it's not like a Jonestown situation where, like, if you tried to leave, like, you can't go.
Right.
Like, Doe and T were like, you are welcome to come and go as you please.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't, like, that. But then, also, if you give up your entire family, it's kind of hard to, like, go back. And, like, once you think this, like, the people who believed it were with them for decades.
Yeah.
So, they would be required, so Doe and T would require members to abstain from all desires and themselves. They would abstain. They were abstinent. They didn't do, like, drugs or alcohol, like, nothing.
I'm out.
I'm gonna have to check out now. See you later.
Bye.
In regards to the abstinence, 7 to 9 male members and Doe end up getting castrated later on. like in the 90s.
Okay. As like grown men?
Grown adult males. They only accepted members above the age of 18.
Oh.
So no one, like, there's no kids because no one's procreating.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Woo.
Yeah.
That'll stick with you.
So the documentary talks about it, and it there's like one guy who left shortly before the mass suicides took place, and he was like, I wanted to get castrated first because I wanted to show Doe how like committed I was. But this other guy who ended up going through the mass suicide, he went first, but he got castrated by like a nurse and not an actual doctor.
Oh.
And it was like he had to go to the hospital for it.
Yeah.
It was like a whole thing. And then they found a doctor that would castrate them. And so other men chose to get castrated.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Definitely extreme.
That is very extreme.
Really, like, but they all really believed it, you know? And like, yeah.
Huh.
Every member was to dress the same. They all had the same haircuts. Like, they were all almost like robotic.
Yeah. That sounds boring.
Yeah, like everyone was that.
To all be the same.
Well, it's crazy because like I'll read you some of their like 17 rules, but it was like everyone was equal, and in the after, like not the on the next level, there's no male or female. There's no like everyone was gender like non-conforming,
right? So
like non-binary. There's no social status. There's none of that. So everyone did the same thing. There was a process for everything. Like an example is like pancakes. You use the same amount of batter for each pancake. Right. You cook it on one side, flip it to the other. Cook it every single pancake for the same amount of time.
Right.
They're syruped the same. You eat the same amount. You use the same amount of toothpaste.
Yeah.
As everyone.
It's like The Handmaid's Tale. Have you seen that?
I hate. I hate watching that, and I hate that our country is currently turning into that. Anyways, like I said, the interesting is that people were free to leave whenever they saw fit. So like people would go to Doe and be like, I'm leaving. One guy, he left he was with them for like 20 something years.
Yeah.
And he left just shortly before the mass suicide, and Doe even gave him money to like take the plane back and stuff. Like it wasn't like you must stay.
Okay.
There, like I said, there was like those 17 steps. Do you want to hear a few of them?
Let's hear them.
So some of the steps they're all questions too, but it's like the answer to the question has to be yes, because then you're in line with like, where you need to be. And they would call it like school, the class, like learning. So can you follow instructions without adding your own interpretation?
Yes.
Do you put off tasks or procrastinate?
Yes.
Do you go from one extreme to another?
Yes.
As from overeating to undereating, etc. Do you use more of something than is adequate? For example, excessively high cooking flame, more toothpaste than necessary, etc.
Yes.
Do you needlessly ask a question when the answer is obvious, or a moment of silent observation would quickly reveal the answer? So, like,
no, I wouldn't do that. I actually wouldn't do that.
So, like, these are the kinds of things, and it's like just stripping them of their humanness and making everyone like the same.
Keep going.
What?
Keep going. I want to hear all of them.
Oh, you want to hear all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I skipped around, so now I don't know which ones I already read. Has familiarity caused you to become so relaxed with your partners or others that your actions or words don't hold enough restraint? Are you pushing, aggressive, interfering, or demanding in any way?
Yes.
Have you outgrown defensiveness and its flip side, martyrdom?
No.
Are you gentle, simple, cautious, and thoughtfully restrained in your steps and all other physical actions or words?
Fuck no.
Okay. When your teachers have asked someone to do a task and it relates to you, do you treat that task and its deliverers with as much respect as you would if it came directly from your teachers? Like, what does that even mean?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm like, am I dumb? Or
I don't know about that one. That's an IDK.
that's a this emoji.
Oh my god, I don't know.
So yeah, that's like, I mean, there's a few more, but I don't.
So I don't know if I'd be a good candidate or not.
You would be a horrible candidate for this role. You would be terrible. They don't allow you to swim lanes.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Not so good on that one.
So I went and got my car washed today, and I go into the place, and it fucking reeked of weed. And I was like, all right, come on, which one of you? Let's do it.
Did this?
Let's be friends. Come on.
Where'd you go?
The Pirates car wash, whatever.
Right down the street.
It's like the only one I know of.
Do they do a good job?
Yeah.
I need a detail on both my cars.
I haven't detailed them.
Oh, just
the regular
the
wash.
regular wash.
Yeah. Cheapo wash that they charge $4 more because my car is a SUV or something.
Your car's a minivan.
Yeah. Don't call it a minivan.
It's a minivan.
It's a carnival.
It's a minivan.
It's a fun bus.
If you're calling it a bus, it's a minivan.
It's not a minivan.
Mel, you drive a minivan. Does the door in the back slide open or does it open like a car door?
It slides open.
It's a minivan.
But it's so cool because Avery can just push the button.
Push the button and do it herself.
Get out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a minivan, honey.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't look like one. A little bit.
I've never been inside it and I knew it was a minivan, so... you tell me.
Fine.
Does it look like a minivan?
Fine. It's a minivan, but not really.
Well, that's stupid because I have an SUV, so that I have a real SUV.
Yeah.
So...
I had a real SUV until I got that thing.
So they would charge me $4 extra.
$4 extra. I looked on the receipt and I was like, "What the fuck? I got the cheap one." And then it said SUV or something on it, or
The
large
boys-
car.
The boys like going to Quick Quack, duck wash.
Yeah,
And then they get mad at me when I call it a duck wash because it's not a duck wash, it's a car wash.
it's a car wash.
Anyway. Gigantic. That's the one they like going to. And then I make them,
But then they have to.
I make them do it.
Oh, yeah.
In the back.
They like it.
Yeah, you guys made a mess. Clean that shit up. It needs it. Our cars need it so bad. They're so dirty right now. It's so gross. Anyways, back to this. Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate primary belief was that they were beings from the next level who were on Earth in human bodies, which they referred to as vessels.
Okay.
So that's what T and Doe came up with. They're like, okay, we're from this other plane of existence, basically, like this next level, and we've taken over these bodies, and yeah, here we are, and we're just gonna lead people. Pretty much, they thought they were Jesus, and God. That's what they thought. There's this gets so convoluted, so I'm not gonna get super into it.
Okay.
The higher level being is going through a metamorphosis like a caterpillar in the human vessel. So there's an alien that's also inside the body.
Okay.
Which is the higher level being from the next level, who is transforming, and when they're done with the vessel, they'll move on to the next level.
Okay.
But when they're done with the vessel is up for debate.
Okay.
And when the time is right, the vessel will complete its metamorphosis and enter a UFO to the next level.
Huh. So did they ever accept kids?
Never.
Does it say why? They just don't like kids?
Well, because they don't procreate.
I know, but do they say why they...
Because they only recruit adults. Only adult, because it would be kidnapping if they took a 16-year-old.
Right.
Against their...
No, but I meant, does it say why they don't do that?
Because there's no genders.
Oh, there's no genders.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
no genders.
Okay.
You can't. It was like they couldn't masturbate. They couldn't do
Okay.
anything. And if they would have what they called like wet dreams, like nocturnal emissions,
Right.
they would have to use like these special towels, you know, because like men
Yeah.
are going to have it happen.
Yeah.
And there's a story in the documentary about like one of the first members was a very good looking man from like LA, and Doe later on he went to him and was like, I had a nocturnal emission because of you, like my vessel is attracted to your vessel, so you need to leave. And that was kind of what caused the talks about the castration.
Huh.
So basically Doe had like a wet dream about this other dude.
Right.
Who had been a follower of his for like 2 decades at that point.
Wow.
And then 7 people got castrated. So it was their will, though. Like, they wanted to do it because they thought they were at
Right.
school and like learning to be able to go to the next level.
Right.
So it's like he didn't force them.
No.
If the men that were there that didn't want to, okay.
Huh.
So it's like this very strange where you're seeing like total control,
Right.
but then like, no, like you have a choice.
Yeah.
So it's this weird like.
It's a power. Yeah.
Yeah. In 1974, they gained their first follower. She would only follow them for a few months before returning to her family. While at a meeting, so again, it's like the 70s, so there's like all these like, new age hippies, and like it's kind of like the time when they'll like flourish, you know, because that's what people are searching for, is like religions that aren't religion, but like are spiritual but not spiritual, and like also UFOs.
Yeah.
Which is how they would post all these flyers, and like it would have like it would say like in big letters on the top like UFO to like have people come to these recruiting events. And then on the bottom it would be like, this is not about UFOs. So it's like the sci-fi side of it,
right?
And like everyone thought the world was ending because it was the 70s, and there's Vietnam, and the oil embargo, and like all those events, and so it's very like I can't think of the word right now off the top of my head. Millenistic, which is like end of times sort of thoughts that relate to like cults,
right?
So. At that meeting in LA in 1975, they recruit 23 to 27 members as like a result of that meeting.
Okay.
So, pretty good.
Yeah.
You know. They then moved on to Waldport, Oregon, where they created a recruitment event. They like hosted a recruitment event at a hotel, which was like packed. There was like 200 people there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Nuts, right?
Yeah.
The conversion rate's not that great.
Yeah.
The result of this event gains the cult another 20 members. So now they're like up to, 43 to 47.
Yeah.
But the other thing is it results in a lot of media attention because 20 people just disappear from Waldport, Oregon.
Right.
Like overnight. They just leave their families. They disappear completely.
Yeah.
So... it sort of creates like this media storm about
no shit.
Yeah. About like this crazy cult.
Yeah.
And it's not good media attention. Like it's very, very negative.
Yeah.
Which causes them to go like underground. But I lost my train of thought. During this time and for a few years after, the cult would spend all of their time camping and moving around. So there's like no real structure during this period. It's just like a bunch of people like literally going from like campsite to campsite to campsite to campsite, like extremely nomadic.
Wow. Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, we need to like establish some roots, but they're still very like nomadic. They move to all different kinds of places.
Huh.
They stopped their recruitment after all that media backlash and sort of go like hermit status. But they're renting like mansions in nice neighborhoods. That's what they liked. Like nice quiet neighborhoods and mansions, because there's a lot of them.
How do they get the money?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
During the recruitment periods, the highest number of cult members would be like 150 to 200. Okay. So like, not zero.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
By the time the nomadic period ended, so like when they're starting to rent the mansions, the member count was in the 50s.
Okay.
One member received an inheritance, which was then used to rent the mansions for several years.
Okay.
While in the mansions, all cult members would live inside, but only certain members would be allowed to go in the front yard or like to cars so that it would not be suspicious to neighbors.
Oh.
So everyone was there.
Right.
But like only 3 people would go in and out.
Right.
Or like 5 or whatever.
Right.
The group was considered to be like a monastery, monk-like, and like nun-like basically.
Okay.
Things were going well until 1985. I mean, well, relatively.
Right.
Like, there was no media attention. They're just sort of like doing their thing and being a cult and like learning about God, but like not killing anyone, not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Very like...
Just doing their own thing.
Yeah. And then in 1985, Doe is faced with like some serious cognitive dissonance because T passed away from cancer.
Oh.
Which forced him to explain why/how that could happen.
Right.
Because their whole ideology is like you're waiting to go to the next level with everyone.
Oh.
And then she dies.
Yeah.
And this was not part of their teaching. It completely goes against their beliefs. Like, why did she abandon her vessel before they came to get them?
Right.
So Doe responded to Teet's death by saying that she had used up all of her vehicle and was able to abandon it in order to ascend to the next level. So now you can just, like, be ready.
Right.
Without them coming to get you.
Right.
So, like, a huge ideological shift.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also believe that, like, T is waiting and, like, gonna come get them.
I'm gonna be waiting for a long time.
12 years. Doe was, and so he's like, I was left behind because there was more work to be done teaching and guiding others to the next level. Mm-hmm. So that's why he was left behind. Not because, like, he didn't have cancer.
Yeah.
But just that other reason. And that the ultimate hope was that they would be reunited with T. Closer to the mass suicide, the cult believed that T was coming back for them. So, like, it became their core sort of belief, like, T's coming. She'll get us.
Okay.
And we'll be with T. Former members have stated that following T's death, Doe began to seek more intense control over the group. He allowed all members to return to their families for 2 weeks. So, like, he's like, go home.
Yeah. For
a little bit. Like, we need a quick break. Only one member did not return at the end of the 2 weeks. So it's like the people wanted
to be there. Yeah.
Doe also... It's crazy, right?
It is crazy.
Not, like, that crazy.
No, but I just wouldn't want to live with people I don't know. Like, that just sounds horrible.
I don't want to be around strangers.
I don't want to be around strangers all the time.
Well, they're not strangers at this point.
I know, but I don't want to live with, like, 50 other people. That's too much.
It is a lot.
Like, we have 5, and that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a lot. Doe also did, like, a marriage ritual with all the members where he gave them a gold wedding band.
But they couldn't have sex?
He, like, really hung up on the not having sex, the abstinence portion of this cult.
What's the fucking point of getting married, then?
It was, like, more... It was, like, described as he asked them, like, if you had $100, what would you buy for yourself? And then presented all of them, like, this ring in a very ritualistic way.
Huh.
It was very interesting to, like, watch it.
Yeah.
And, like, the animations they used to, like, play it out. I was like, whoa.
Okay.
So things just sort of, like, go. They lose members. They gain members.
Yeah.
Like, they're not actively recruiting, but they're just sort of, like, living life.
Yeah.
And they're working, like, they do a lot of stuff with computers and, like, software, so they're making money.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the early 1990s, the cult went back on the road. So they're like, okay, let's recruit and spread our message.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know necessarily, like, why, but that's what they did.
They were sick of being underground.
Yeah. Maybe they felt like there's, like, the media wasn't so bad.
Right.
They gained a few more members during this time, and they ultimately ended up in the mansion in Rancho Santa Fe, California, for $7,000 in rent, in cash, every month.
Wow.
So they made a lot of money. They would, like, design websites for people,
Right.
and they would sell, like, VHS tapes.
Yeah.
They would, like, make recordings and, like, sell.
Yeah.
I know, it's, like, so dated, right?
Yeah.
They would, like, sell VHS tapes and just do things like that. And obviously, they did pretty good.
Yeah.
They began renting there in October of 1996 and called the home Monastery.
Okay.
Around this time, Doe got the idea that the Hale-Bopp comet, which was, like, passing Earth at that time, I guess it was like visible from Earth for, like, 18 months.
Okay.
In the 1996 and 1997, had a UFO behind it.
Oh.
And the UFO was coming for them.
Oh.
It was going to take them to the next level.
Okay.
Which, there's no real clear answer on, like, where that came from.
Right.
There's a ton of speculation that this idea came from a person calling into a radio show, Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
Do you hear it? I used to drive around with my dad and listen to Coast to Coast. It was, like, very nostalgic of some guy actually from Texas, Houston, who sent a picture that he took of Hale-Bopp comet, and you can see something, like, trailing behind it.
Yeah.
And I guess the Heaven's Gate members, like, they went and they got, like, a telescope and tried to see this secondary, like, UFO thing.
Yeah.
They couldn't see it, but they blamed the telescope, not that it wasn't there. So.
Yeah.
But it's like, is that it? Is it something else?
Yeah.
Is it that he's getting older? Right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like 96 and he was born in 30 something.
Yeah.
39, something like that. No, 31?
Yeah.
No, I have to check.
I don't know.
31. So, like, what's the actual reason? Who knows?
Yeah.
But here we are. They recorded, like, everything, too. Like,
that's creepy, too.
Yeah, so there's, like, a video footage of them from December of 1996, which is just 3 months before the mass suicide, where they're seen celebrating Christmas, which is, like, I guess at their core, they're, like, Christians.
Yeah.
But, like, okay.
Yeah.
And they're, like, on film, like, there's 39 people at this time. Everyone's making, like, individual pies.
Yeah.
And they're all the exact same size, wearing the exact same outfit.
Man.
But they're even, like, welcoming back former members to come celebrate Christmas with them.
Right.
So, like, just a very, like, peaceful thing.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
And they're singing songs together, mostly, about Do-Re-Mi.
Yeah.
Fa Sol La Ti Do. But Doe is getting more and more paranoid of the government coming after them, as they had with Waco and, like, Ruby Ridge.
Yeah.
There's also this intense fear that the government would shut down their website. So Heaven's Gate is the first cult to use the internet for recruitment.
Oh, wow.
So they were ahead of the times.
Yeah.
In response to that fear about their website, they sent floppy disks of their website information and floppy disks.
Floppy disk. Half the people don't know what that is.
I know. I wrote it and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Do you remember when AOL used to send you a floppy disk?
Yep.
And, like, the CD?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yes,
So
I do.
So they sent them to Poland and Brazil, and it had like agreed with ex-members that they were still like cordial with to host their website on international servers.
Okay.
In case the U.S. government shut it down.
Right.
But the U.S. government doesn't, and you can still go look at their website.
Oh, really?
Yep. Up and running. Like a little time capsule. All the same information.
Huh.
People will respond to your email if you email them.
Really?
Yep. Ex-members are still running it and hosting it to this day.
Should we go join for a little bit?
No, I don't think they'll let you join.
Why?
I don't know. But there's like statements. I mean, there's like a lot. There's the mission, their stance on suicide. They've transcript videotapes of Doe talking.
Huh.
I'm actually looking at their website right now. So yeah, the website's up and running.
Wow.
The cult kept like meticulous records, and those show that the last few months leading up to the mass suicide were like an extended vacation almost.
Yeah.
So they took a trip to Oregon where T and Joe had their revelation in 1973. They go back to that same spot.
Okay.
They go to Mexico. They go to Las Vegas where they stay at the Stratosphere and win $20. They go to SeaWorld. They go to the Wild Animal Park.
Wow.
The end of Heaven's Gate would begin on March 22nd or 23rd. It's hard to know the exact date. The 39 members of Heaven's Gate would begin committing suicide on that day. They all recorded like final goodbye messages, which were mailed to their families and an ex-member. The group would commit suicide in 3 separate groups. So there was like a big group, a second group, and then 2 people at the end that did it. Because they would clean up. So like when the first group was done, they would like clean up after them and prepare the second group. To commit suicide, the members would eat applesauce or pudding drugged with phenobarbital and wash that down with vodka. They then laid down in like dorm style rooms, so like rooms with bunk beds or like cots that were laid out throughout the house.
Yeah.
It's like a 9,000 square foot house.
Right.
And just like bodies everywhere. They laid down and had like a bag placed over their heads until they suffocated or fell asleep. And then the surviving members would then remove the bags and place like a purple cloth over them. Next to each person was a neatly packed bag, and those who wore glasses had their glasses wrapped next to them on the bed. In their pockets was a $5 bill and 3 quarters, which was the toll to enter the next level.
$5
and 75 cents.
And 75 cents.
Doe wasn't in the last group. He was in the second group.
Okay.
So they're so rude.
Every time.
They're so rude.
Every fucking time.
Why are they so rude?
I don't know.
They're so cute though. So Doe's in the second group. There's no blood at the scene. Like everything is very like calm, peaceful.
Right. Yeah.
So they know that the last 2 members were the last 2 members because they weren't covered in purple and they still had the bags over their heads.
Okay.
The coroner stated that, I said that word weird.
Corner.
The coroner?
Coroner.
Coroner. Coroner. That's not how you say that word.
Coroner.
Anyway, the medical examiner.
Yes.
Stated that the bodies were in various stages of decomposition. So some were like 36 to 48 hours, some were a little less, and then the last 2 were the most
fresh, yeah.
Quote unquote. Have you seen that movie, by the way? Fresh? On Hulu?
No.
Oh, girl.
Really? Good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'll write it down.
It was, don't make it one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I'll watch that, and then you never watch it.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Okay.
Kept me hooked.
Okay.
So, the police were led to the house because they received an anonymous tip from an ex-member. So they had mailed all of the like final goodbye tapes and everything to an ex-member with like a map basically of the home.
Okay.
And so that member goes to the house first and then he calls the police and he's like, there's been a suicide and blah blah.
Yeah.
There's like an immediate media frenzy following the discoveries of the bodies and the mass suicide, and it's one of the largest in the history of the U.S. And that is Heaven's Gate.
Wow.
There's so much though, like on the documentary that's like hours and hours long.
Yeah.
Where you find out that T has been writing her daughter a letter every month for the entire time she's in the cult. So everyone else has to give everything up, but she's writing letters. Yeah, and so the last episode has her daughter meeting with some former members who got out before the suicides happened.
Right.
And she reads them a letter where it's like, it's apparent that teen probably does not actually believe in what she's preaching and like teaching them, and it's just very sad.
Yeah.
But also her daughter talks earlier in the documentary too about how they would look at the stars all the time and be like, wouldn't it be so cool if like a UFO would come down and take us to like a different planet or something? Like they just want to be off Earth.
Right.
So it was just really an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, like those poor people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what happened to the other ones?
What are the ones?
The other people. Only 7 died, right?
No, all 39 of them.
Oh, all 3. Oh.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
They all died.
Oh.
They just did it in separate groups.
Oh, I thought there were more. Okay. I don't know why I thought that.
7.
7.
What a random number you picked off the top of your head. All 7.
7. I don't know.
No, 39. Okay. They all died.
All of them.
Yep. They all did the same exact thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't. And the police originally call in and they're like, we have a lot of males. So it's getting reported that it's all males, but actually it was majority was women.
Wow.
I think it was like 21 women and like 19 men or something.
Yeah.
But they all had the same haircut and more like androgynous. So the police couldn't tell the difference.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's Heaven's Gate. I find cults so interesting.
Yeah. I don't understand them, but they are interesting.
I don't understand how you could join them.
No.
And like how you could believe that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a portion of the documentary that talks about how when Doe starts putting like beliefs on the internet and like various like crazy old internet like forum groups and stuff, and people are like, you're insane, and basically like cyberbullying him because like they're not wrong. Like these are kind of crazy things to be spouting, you know, like crazy conspiracy theory stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, that's Heaven's Gate.
That's Heaven's Gate. Wow. That's too bad. Good job.
Thank you. It like I wonder if T was still alive, like if people would have died.
Yeah.
Or what would have happened.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe not.
You never know.
You never know.
Just like you never know if getting therapy as a kid would stop someone from being a serial killer.
You never know.
You never know. So, anyways, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We can be found on all the socials at
The Murder Mamas.
Gmail.
And themurdermamas@gmail.com.
And Facebook.
The M Mamas.
Because you can't say murder on Facebook.
Nope.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.